To get started with security configuration, we're going to take a look at the navigation and use of the security configuration form. It's found in System Administration, and then you can click on the Security Configuration tile. This will open up a new page. By default, you'll be on the Roles tab, which you can see here at the top. Down the left-hand side of the page, you can see a list of all of the security roles that are provided out of the box. By selecting a particular role, you can see the details for that role. On the flyout pane, you can see a description of that role, the name of the role in the AOT, and you can see if there are any references. A plus sign will be displayed next to any reference that exists. So in this case, only duties exist for this particular role. By selecting the duties and clicking on it in the references pane, a new flyout is opened up, which will show me a list of all of the duties that are included in the Compensation and Benefits Manager role. By selecting a particular duty from the list, I'll be able to see the details about that duty. So, for example, I selected Enable Absence Process, and I can see the description along with any references. In this case, both privileges and roles exist. By clicking on Privileges, I'll be able to see the privileges that are associated with this particular duty. If I were to click the Roles button instead, I can see that this particular duty is included in both the Compensation and Benefits Manager role along with the Human Resources Assistant role. I can continue down this drill down pattern by selecting an object, so I'll select Maintain Absence Codes, and I can see now the details of this particular privilege. In this case, there is no description, so if I wanted to go ahead and type one in, I can do that by typing over the description. The references here will actually show me exactly which objects in the system the privilege is granting access to. In this case, there are no action menu items, but there are some display menu items. Here I can see that this is granting access to the HRM absence code. When I select that, I can actually update the access for this. So here you can see that I have read, update, create, delete, access. And for each one, I can unset, grant, or explicitly deny the access to that particular node. Now, because I've navigated so far down into this particular tree of security, I've received a breadcrumb bar of buttons along the top. I can use these buttons to navigate back to any stage in the drill down process that I was just using. So for example, if I want to go back to the duties, I can click the duties button and it takes me back to the view when I had drilled down to the duties. I can use the buttons at the top to update and so on. When I click to a different tab, such as duties, the behavior of the form is exactly the same. However, I'm starting with a list of duties. So if I want to see the details about approved position actions, I can see which privileges this includes and which roles have access to this particular duty. I can continue the drill down process just like I can from the Roles tab. The same thing is true for the Privileges tab. The difference with this tab is we start with a list of privileges. So if I want to see the Approve Absences privilege and what exactly that gives access to, I can see that information and drill down quickly and easily. In our later demonstrations, we'll take a closer look at the unpublished objects and we'll make changes to roles, duties, and privileges, as well as creating new versions of roles, duties, and privileges.